Cowboys from Hell is my absolute favorite Pantera album of all time, and the setup for this album, the history that went into it, was just a perfect setup. They completely reinvented themselves, and they were given a second chance at life. Now, Pantera was having a lot of problems. Believe it or not, like right after they fired Terry Glaze after I Am the Night, they got a different vocalist other than Phil Anselmo, which I forgot to talk about. And it seemed like they were kind of losing their identity there. They gave it another go with power metal with this great new singer, Phil Anselmo. And it was a pretty good album, and it's considered kind of a classic nowadays among Pantera fans, because Pantera tries to avoid all the early shit, but a lot of people keep harping on how good power metal is. And then they kind of went through another dark period, because they kept trying to get a record company to sign them. So Dimebag actually, believe it or not, wanted to disband Pantera or something like that because he felt it wasn't going to go anywhere. And believe it or not, he joined Megadeth for a short while to be part of the Rust in Peace lineup with Nick Menza. However, he only wanted to join if his brother Vinny from Pantera could also join the band, but they already had Nick Menza, and Dave said no, so him and Dimebag separated. So they returned as Pantera and started playing with more of a breakneck pace and a blitzkrieg groove with all of their songs, almost fusing it with like thrash metal with a southern groove. So Pantera was signed and the band was reborn. To a lot of people, this is Pantera's debut album because a lot of the other stuff is ignored, and to Pantera, the whole band, this is their debut album, Cowboys from Hell. 1990, the artwork is very classic. I absolutely love it. It shows the band kind of photoshopped into an old picture of a olden time western bar, and they're just jumping around, starting up shit in the bar. So let's start out with the main song on the album, the title track, Cowboys from Hell, the first Pantera song I've ever heard, and I've always loved it. The groovy riff is absolutely fantastic, and the guitar work is way better than before. Their tightness in playing just became incredible from this point on. And Phil's vocals all throughout the song are absolutely incredible, and I love how, especially starting on this song, it shows Dimebag do a lot of weird kind of guitar effects, especially with the squealing and pinch harmonics. Then we get to a really awesome song called Primal Concrete Sledge, which is kind of a shorter song, and it mostly focuses on its heavy groove. The song is led by Vinnie Paul doing his incredible double bass drum playing with an incredible bassy groove throughout the entire song. Even though the guitar is way higher in the mix, you could just hear that bass riff bleed through even the guitar. And the fast way that Phil sings is absolutely awesome. All I remember is like the last word of every line. He's like, "There's something to live, gonna be better, something to give." Then we have one of my absolute favorite songs from the album, a very underrated deep cut, Psycho Holiday. This song's fantastic. It's very, very, very southern and has a lot of great riffs to it. Phil's singing's a lot more deep, but he does some shrill screams here and there, and it's really, really catchy, especially the chorus, and I love that really, 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 really Texas Southern guitar solo. Then we have a considered classic on this album, but believe it or not, my least favorite song, Heresy. This song has a lot of Dimebag Darrell, pinch harmonics, and weird sound effects. The whole main riff kind of focuses along that, and my problem with it is especially the verse and even chorus. It has a lot of that weird sound effect stuff, and the way Phil sings along with it always felt kind of weird, but it's still a really, really catchy song. It's easy to get into, and I've always absolutely loved the awesome riff at the very end. Then we have probably the best song of the entire album, Cemetery Gates. It's the epic power ballad type of song. Phil's vocals throughout the entire song are fantastic, and it perfectly blends beautiful atmosphere that's really catchy with like really heavy riffs. When it goes from heavy to light, the contrast is absolutely perfect. And I love the two guitar solos in this song. And Phil's screams at the end, the gates, are fucking awesome, especially the highest one. And it's even cooler how Dimebag follows each scream with a whammy bar screech. Then we have another favorite song on this album. They just keep coming and coming. Fart stinks like a motherfucker. It's Domination. That's the funny thing that you can't hear it very well. Vinny screams at the beginning of the song. He yells, "Fart stinks," like a motherfucker. And this song is a motherfucker, but it does not stink, that's for damn sure. The riffs on this are absolute thrash metal, speed metal craziness. And Phil singing is absolutely amazing. I love the catchy-ass chorus. The guitar solo, I mean, motherfucker, if you think Dimebag is overrated, you have to hear the guitar solo in this song. It's one of the most, like, random scaled things I've ever heard. It reminds me so much of Randy Rhoads, but almost like an improved style. Mix it with, like, blues. It's just so bizarre and fantastic. And then they do a really crazy lead part where it's really slow at the end. Just all around a very epic, kick-ass song. Probably one of the absolute best songs from the entire band. Then we have a really, really fast, crazy song. The riff on this song is absolute fucking insanity. And what's even crazier is Phil's falsetto throughout the entire song, making one of the absolute best songs in the album. And the chorus is just so damn. Especially the high-pitched squeal at the end of the chorus, where Phil is just screaming shattered. Then we have Clash with Reality, another classic on this album. The intro is really epic. I could argue that maybe they could have opened the album with this song, because the intro is just so, like, draws you into the song. It's so lengthy. But, you know, Cowboys from Hell is a great way to start it. But anyways, it has a long intro that's really epic, and has a lot of sirens and stuff. And when it comes in with that, like, heavy groove, when the song's finally starting to get into it, it just sounds so badass. You could just start a show with this damn song. And then Phil singing throughout it is really good. He really captivates you until you get to that really great catchy chorus. Then we have the song Medicine Man, which I believe is about drugs, especially heroin, which is weird because that's kind of hinting to some events later down the road with Phil's dance with heroin. What's interesting also is that the song sounds a lot, especially chorus-wise, like the song Magic Man from Heart. I've always felt that they kind of borrowed that, because they say in the song Magic Man, like, understand, he's a magic man. And then in this song it's like, understand, just take his hand, he's a magic man. Did I say Magic Man or Medicine Man? Then we have Message in Blood and The Sleep, kind of considered the filler songs in the album, but I still absolutely love them. Message in Blood is definitely the heavier of the two songs. It has a lot of crazy sound effect stuff and really crazy rhythms and drum patterns and shit. But the chorus is really fucking catchy. And then we have The Sleep, which is a really, really groovy, bluesy song. Not much heaviness going on, but it is very, very catchy and very different. I really enjoy the song. Then we end the album with the absolute heavy, speed metal, thrashy, groovy motherfucking classic, The Art of Shredding. And you'd think that the whole song would be crazy all the way through, crazy fast and everything. But the song just keeps changing and changing its kind of tone. It starts out with a really epic build-up, some great riffs, building the atmosphere. Then it goes into a crazy fucking riff. Then goes into a cool groove, and then goes right back into that crazy riff of the chorus. And it perfectly explains the feeling and the love for guitar shredding. It's more than just emotion, you know, it's all the emotion. So that's it, that's Cowboys from Hell, my absolute favorite Pantera album of all time. One of my favorite albums of all time. I've always loved this album. It's always been one of my first heavy metal albums. I don't care how fake people consider this album. I mean, a lot of people hate Pantera and this album and all their Phil albums because it helped influence shit later down the road, like nu metal and groove metal and stuff like that. But this album hardly sounds like even later Pantera that is cited for starting that whole scene. I mean, if anything, you should be mad at Vulgar Display of Power. This just kind of sounds like really heavy Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer mixed with a tiny bit of groove and blues. So I'm going to give Cowboys from Hell a 10 out of 10.